I grew up in a really religious home. We never really spoke of Jesus or grace or anything. So I grew up in a lot of fear that, I wasn't sure how to please God. I was never really taught how to approach God. If I ever had a question about why we did things the way we did, it was always just, this is how our parents did it, so this is why we're doing it. So there was never an answer for it, but I was always curious why we did church the way we did or why we lived how we did, right?
You were told what you're supposed to look like as a Christian, right? You're supposed to dress a certain way, act a certain way, be put together. You're supposed to have it all figured out, like do this, do that, show up once you figured it out, right? And even if I was crying at home, sometimes emotional, I would show up and have a smile on my face and say the right words and have the right potluck dish and just show up being who I was supposed to be and never really connecting to that person on the inside.
A big change in our life, a big turning point was when we had a son who passed away. He only lived for about an hour, so he was very sick. So we knew going into it what was going to happen, and we followed through with the whole pregnancy. And where it really changed was when we gave it to God, and then he still died, and then we started really searching. Like everything got broken in our life, and we needed more.
We were sitting on the bed, and I remember us holding hands and praying, and we had never prayed out loud together before. Like it was not something you did. It was our first time praying out loud together. And we were like, God, you can, he's yours. And the moment, I still remember like it was today, the moment our heads were lifting and our hands were sliding apart and my water broke. And it was like God, it was like such a sign from God, like we were supposed to give it to him. And I think that was like just something in that room that day. He was like, his presence was so tangible. And I'm like, there's more, there's gotta be more. We both started kind of searching for it on our own time, but not really like talking about it to each other. And so when we finally started having those conversations, it was really cool for us in our relationship as well. And it was like we did a complete 180 of our lives, like everything changed. We wound up at MyVictory at the service at the park. And it was just, this is exactly what I've been looking for, like this freedom, this grace and truth I was searching for my whole life. And that's when really everything changed. Now I know that I don't have to pretend I'm perfect, and I fully gave it all to him, and I tasted that freedom. Then we started coming to MyVictory, and I remember Pastor Kelly saying how the method is not sacred, but the message is. And then, so I started applying that to my life, and everything just started changing. I'm like, wow, like we can be reaching people in so many different ways. It doesn't matter what their walk is or where they're at. We can meet them there, and we can accept them and give them grace and love the same way that Jesus did, and just serve them, right? Because I needed that too, but so I see where they're at. Jesus said to Matthew, just follow me, just where he was at, how he was, like come as you are and follow. And I think that really grabbed my heart, just being like who you can for the people, like meeting them where they're at, just really having that compassion, empathy for their circumstances. That was something that we received, and so now we get to carry that and bring that to others.